Thanks to you, the viewers, for your excellent detective work. We now have some updates to provide related to the Clucky's lore. This is Clucky's lore part 2. And in addition, the developers patched the game to where I can now clearly see the obituary that was previously cut from the game. But first, if you are new to the channel, smash that subscribe button to show your support for more Clucky's content. Alright, so first of all, I want to clean up what I posted on the original video now that we can actually see the obituary. To find it, go to the far table in the jungle dining room. First, let's read what it says. Nancy Beekman, beloved wife to Charles Beekman and devoted mother to the young Richard Beekman, passed away in a tragic accident last night. She will be dearly missed by her family and friends. The Beekman family has requested privacy during this trying time. A private burial will be held this Saturday. And there is a footnote here which also reads, this will not affect Clucky's hours of operations. Wow. So, first of all, I originally suspected that Betsy was Richard's mother. We can now clearly see in the obituary that Nancy Beekman was the mother of Richard. So in the Gazette, it talked about Richard's recent birth, and because Betsy Bauer was in the article, it appears as if she is the mother. But no, it's actually Nancy Beekman. And with all that said, we also found out that from Charles Beekman's 1975 journal that the sons Richard and Jackie are half-brothers. This would make Jackie the son of Betsy Bauer and not Nancy Beekman. Now we can consider this case closed. Here's the real question that comes out of this. How did Nancy really die? What was this tragic accident that befell her on February 12, 1965? My suspicion is that Betsy Bauer may have had something to do with it. Why? Well, if you remember from the marriage certificate, Betsy Bauer married Charles Beekman on July 4th, 1965, which is roughly 5 months after Nancy's death. I know I married my wife within 2 years of meeting her, but to fall in love and get married in just 5 months from the loss of his wife is downright suspicious. That would hardly be enough time to even really know each other, unless they did know each other beforehand. Perhaps they fell in love and decided to whack and kill Nancy Beekman so that they can be together finally. Now here's the big news. I received this comment from DuckLover69, which says that when you spam the cardboard cutouts, secret voice lines of what he thinks is Maya can be played. So I immediately put this to the test, and sure enough, DuckLover69 was right. Here are all 4 cutouts and the hidden messages from what we think might be Maya. The first one can be heard from Jackson Jackal by the prison.
There's a reason the food is so irresistible. It has a way of changing you, psychologically, emotionally, even physically. I know, because I helped design it. It will never be detectable to the average health inspector.
Now, that sounds very interesting, but it actually does not tell us much about the near chicken or almost chicken and what it is made of. Human, perhaps? Yum yum.
People.
However, this does tell us that when you eat the almost chicken, it changes you psychologically, emotionally, and even physically. I believe that what this is saying is that if you eat the almost chicken, you will turn into the monster as it is physically changing you. It also sounds like it's a drug because it's so irresistible. So we can see that in some of the tapes of all the monsters, they're actually hooked on the almost chicken to where they're chasing down and fighting over it. So this is horrifying, and I hope to never taste this chicken for myself. The next recording can be heard from Rufus Rabbit.
I guess, deep down, I always knew Beekman was up to something bad. But, I swear, I had no idea how far things went. I only helped him make the prototypes. It was never meant to go this far.
Now, she says Beekman was up to something bad, but she does not say which Beekman, given that Richard was the last Beekman on record working for Clucky's, and according to Charles Beekman's journal, he had anger issues. I could see it being him. However, there really isn't much we know about Jackie and his role in the story, but I'm just going to guess that this is Richard. The next recording was so horrific, it sent chills down my spine. Near the Polar Prince's castle, you can find the Polar Prince to activate the following recording.
How was I supposed to know he would do it to himself? Was it me? I don't expect anyone to forgive me. Tear the whole place down for all I care, but you need to end him. He'll never stop.
This message is huge too because it reveals that the voice in the recording had something done to her, and what seems to be inferred is that this is Richard Beekman. I suspect here that this means that it is likely Maya who ate the almost chicken and became the pink devil, in addition to Richard Beekman becoming Clucky. With the dread in her voice, it was hard to discern the full message, but what we do know is clear. Beekman must be stopped. Heading back to the dining room, we can hear the following recording from Clucky.
The trampoline, hey there!
Hello? Hello? Whoever is listening to this, you have to find a way into the kitchen. The real kitchen. I can't come to you in person. Not the way I look now, but send someone to investigate, please.
This is an SOS for what we think might be Maya. Now, here she is saying that there is a real kitchen that we need to find. Not just the kitchen, but a real one. The best that I can figure at this time is that this may be behind the locked door, behind the cash registers. You can see the big padlock. Now, in the last stage, you have to find a bunch of keys to open up Barney Beaverton's door, but nowhere else can you find a different key that will actually open the door behind the register. Could this be the real kitchen? Or could the real kitchen be in the basement? And why I say that is because going back to the letter from Franklin Stone Construction Company, we find out that the cook-in is going on in the lower level. So the cutscene at the end of the game is likely the answer that we're looking for, where we fall down, likely to the lower level where the almost chicken is being cooked. I cannot wait for the next part of the game that will likely reveal this to us, but this also begs a question. What is behind the door to the cash register? Moving on to our final recording for what we think is Maya, this can be found in the construction area by pressing Barney Beaverton's button.
This is probably my last recording for a while, but there's something you need to know. There are others like the ones you see here, in 8 other locations. Grease Gloom, Honey Bunny, don't forget them. You need to save them too.
Okay, so this is a huge mic drop. The voice in the recording, first of all, reveals that the full name GG is Greasy Gloom. This confirms our suspicions in the first video, where we compared the Gazette photo of Rodney Gloom to the mysterious monster with the initials GG. GG is Greasy Gloom and is named after Rodney Gloom. Next, she mentions that we need to find Honey Bunny as well. This means that the voice in the recording is neither of those monsters. As such, I can confidently infer that the voice is none other than the Pink Devil. She's likely the monster on the side of Clucky's operations, trying to bring Beekman to justice. We have to help her, and she knows the locations, but based on the exploration of the game to date, we have no clue where they are as of this time. Perhaps they are in the lower level where the cooking is being performed, or they could be located behind the locked door by the cash registers. Only time will tell. And as a bonus, we have another note here in the prison where it says, "Don't trust Richard." I believe this was left by Maya. She probably was in the prison waiting to eat the almost chicken by Richard, and then she was trying to warn us before this was all happening. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to leave a comment if you have any other lore. Also, here's a link to the first video in case you missed it. Until next time, later dudes.